Hello. There's a lot of static.
Hang on, I'll try it without my headphones and maybe it'll, how's that?
No, still like yeah, a lot of static.
Is that better?
I think it's still kind of there, but it's like less. Like I think it's gone. All
Okay.
right.
If not, I can take a walk
Okay.
to a
All
different spot. That might be better.
right. I think we're good now. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. So
No, thank you.
yeah, just letting everyone know that yeah, this is Amberlee. We recently did a podcast episode on sacred sexuality, on like the art of slowing down and allowing and reconnecting to your body's wisdom. And then we did a live on Instagram to really dive deeper into some of those topics. But we had some funny internet clunkiness, so we didn't get through the practice. So here we are. And I'm just going to hand over to you, and if you want to share maybe a little bit about yourself and this practice and how it can be used or how it can be really beneficial for those who are using it.
Beautiful. Hello, everyone. So I am Amberlee Rose. So I'm just, now that I've had to move things around, trying to get in my own picture. Yeah, I am a sacral somatics therapist. So I work with women to really unravel patriarchal conditioning and shame around their sexuality through body work, through ritual, through one-on-one mentoring sessions, and group courses and ceremonies. And yeah, it's just really about integrating all of the parts of us that have been rejected or shamed or abandoned, and finding a safe place for them and being able to really, from that security and safety in the body, be able to be in a position to fully reclaim our power and our sensuality as well.
Mm.
So it's a lot of juicy, fun, exciting, painful, pleasurable stuff. And yeah, today's practice is going to be a guided heart womb connection breath. And yeah, there's a few kind of ways you can use this in your life. You can use it as a daily check-in, um, as a way to come into your parasympathetic system and to rest and digest. You can use it as I guess, an embodied decision making process. So, as a way to actually check in to see how your heart and your womb are or are not connected and in coherence, and you know what it's like when you're feeling frantic or indecisive or pulled in many different directions. It's a really just beautiful, simple practice to kind of ground you and pull you into your center, and yeah, really call these two feminine centers into communication so that you can, yeah, make decisions a lot easier. Um, you can also, we'll see how we'll see how I end up guiding it today. But if I don't do it this way, then this is another really beautiful encouragement as well. Is you can use it as a really beautiful gratitude practice. If you have a lot of stickiness or shame or uncomfortability around your womb, or just a lot of grief sitting there, or resentment, this is where you can really build a lot of the felt sensation of gratitude in your heart, and use this practice to breathe that gratitude and love down into your womb without having to fix anything or shift anything or for anything to change or to be better. It's just a practice to really guide more love into and more gratitude into that space in a really gentle way.
Mm.
And yeah, so yeah, I guess as far as benefits go, I mean, they're kind of in the description anyway. But yeah, a felt sense of connection in your own body. Yeah, felt senses of gratitude, relaxation, um, and an opportunity to just really sit with whatever's there as well.
Mm.
Whatever's bubbling in that little cauldron
Yeah.
down there in your womb, it's an opportunity to just, yeah, give some time and some space to that as well, whether that's 2 minutes, whether that's 20 minutes.
Yeah. And especially if this is something that's new for you, it's nice to have like a guided practice just to kind of introduce that
Mm,
connection to the womb and the heart. Um, and I love that piece around bringing it into gratitude. So we do a lot of gratitude in the space here. So this could
oh,
just be something to add into that practice. So that's
yeah,
amazing. And hey, Tonya, we're just about to jump in. Yeah, when you're ready.
beautiful. Well, maybe since, yes, maybe since that's quite alive in this particular space, let's guide it that way. Feels really
Beautiful.
nourishing. Yeah, so just inviting you wherever you are to get really, really comfortable, whether that's seated or laying down. Just gently bringing your eyes to a close, and just taking a few gentle breaths here to just kind of settle into your space. Just inviting the inhale through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Nothing to do here, just slowing down, calling yourself into your breath, into your body. And if it feels supportive for you, you are so welcome in this moment to start to call any of the pieces of yourself that are stretching into the rest of the day, that may be left in conversations from yesterday, that may be caught up in the busyness of the morning. I'm just inviting you to visualize these as threads of light, or maybe beautiful roots, and with every inhale just calling all of those threads of your energy into your body so you can be present with yourself here and now. When that feels complete, just inviting you to bring all of your awareness to your heart space, maybe even bringing a hand to your heart. And just breathing in here. Meeting the touch of your hands with your breath from the inside of your chest. Just noticing how you feel here. Maybe there's a little tightness, maybe a little constriction, maybe a softness or a tenderness. Maybe there's some joy or some gratitude already sitting here. Just breathing into whatever is alive here for your heart right now. Just seeing what's there when you allow some stillness and some spaciousness and you rest into this place. Just inviting anywhere in the body that's feeling tense around the shoulders or the neck or the back of your heart to soften with your exhale. And also just inviting in a felt sense of gratitude in this moment. Welcoming that to take up some space in the heart. And if that's a little hard to connect to just as a felt sense, then calling in a memory or a person or a being in your life that brings you a sense of gratitude. Maybe it's a simple practice or act in your life. Maybe it was your morning cacao or coffee or tea. Maybe it was a hot shower. Just anything that brings a felt sense of gratitude. And allow that to grow in your heart with every inhale. Feeding it with the breath. And with every exhale, feeling, sensing, imagining that expanding in your heart space. Now inviting you to bring your other hand to your womb, to your lower belly, just gently resting it there. Allowing your belly to fall soft and full in your hand. We're just going to gently invite the breath further down past the heart and in to the womb, into the pelvic bowl. And just knowing that if you do not have a physical womb, you can still connect to this energetic center. It never leaves you. Calling your presence down into your womb. Filling your pelvic bowl and just noticing now what vibrational quality lies here. Maybe there's a bit of resistance. Maybe there's some grief or some pain, some sadness. Maybe there's some anger. Maybe there's some pleasure. Maybe there's just numbness. Whatever's there, just noticing, just being with it. And just assuring your body that it's safe in your own hands. We're going to move into a slightly elongated breath to begin to connect these two spaces. So the invitation is to take a 4-count breath into your heart through the nose and exhaling out the mouth, descending down your spine into your womb for 6 or 8 counts. And then breathing back in the nose, following the breath up into the heart. Out the mouth, descending into the womb. Up into the heart. With a sigh, descending into the womb. And on your next exhale down to the womb, just inviting this beautiful energy of gratitude that you built in your heart to trickle to flow down your spine and fill your womb. And you can see this as golden light moving down the spine and into the womb. Perhaps a golden nectar flowing down and filling up your womb as a chalice. Maybe there's no visuals and there's just a felt sense of this happening. And just noticing how you feel as your womb begins to fill with this gratitude, with this love. On your next exhale, inviting a sound for what that feels like. Maybe you want to invite a gentle rocking in your spine as you breathe. Gently pulling back the shoulders on your inhale, stretching out your heart. And relaxing, sinking down to your womb on your exhale. Allowing a gentle sound and vibration and a gentle movement to just loosen any stickiness, any hardness that's perhaps preventing these two spaces from talking to each other. Following this gentle light, this connection between them up and down the spine with every breath. Maybe bringing both hands down to the womb now. And just asking what she needs you to know today. Maybe that's something she needs you to make more space for in your day. Something she wants to feel more of today, experience more of today. Maybe it's something she wants you to remember about yourself. A message of love or kindness or gentleness on yourself in your day. Maybe it's just to remember to check in tomorrow. And just beginning to bring that communication to a close. Thanking her in whatever way feels supportive for you. Maybe that's gently squeezing the belly, gently squeezing the thighs. Maybe coming back up and touching your heart, giving yourself a cuddle. Whatever way feels good to bring this practice to a close. In your own time, you can gently flutter open your eyes and welcome yourself back into your physical space. Maybe taking a moment to glance around the room and reorientate yourself. Hello. Coming back to the screen when you feel ready.
Beautiful practice.
Thank you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, relaxed. It was an interesting start to the morning for me, so definitely needed a nice drop in. But yeah, thanks so much for sharing that with us. I think it's so powerful. Just to take that time to really slow down, because I know we spoke a lot about slowing down on the podcast, but sometimes putting it into practice is just a whole nother story. It's like, yeah, I understand the importance of rest and slowing down and connecting to my body, but like, how do I prioritize that? How do I do that?
Yeah.
So I think that was really lovely.
Yeah. I think there's probably couldn't talk about it enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm. And so I'd love to hear from everyone that whether you're joining live, whether you're jumping in for the replay, I'd love to hear about your experience. Feel free to share your gratitude. I always love to just really fill this space with gratitude energy. Um, yeah, and if you wanted to share, Amberlee, I know we shared on the podcast that you're going to be joining us inside the Embody membership later this year for an incredible workshop. And this is going to take what we spoke about on the podcast so much deeper. But maybe if you want to just share like a kind of brief overview of what you're going to be sharing in that space and what the like benefits might be if people actually joining in that 3-hour workshop.
Oh, well, I guess it's an opportunity to blow a practice like this up into a 3-hour container. 3 hours of really slowing down and coming into, we're going to open with cacao. So there's going to be an invitation to really come into the heart space first, which is actually really important when we're meeting our womb, when we're meeting our sex center for women, is to open the heart first in order to feel safe to, open the yoni. And that doesn't just mean opening the yoni or the womb to other people. That can be opening it to our own awareness and consciousness as well, and not yeah penetrating her or pushing her or forcing her into a connection before she's really being met at each stage of consent and opening and blossoming as well. So we're going to do some practices together, obviously in your own space and in your own time, where we kind of get to really, from a grounded, dropped in place, meet those parts of our yoni and and move through those stages of an internal felt experience of consent and love for ourselves, and in an area that's so biologically attacked, energetically attacked, emotionally attacked and contracted, and I guess, and there's an opportunity there to be with whatever that is. Maybe it's a releasing of shame, maybe it's a first real meeting, and for me, the gifts that connecting with my womb have given me are indescribable, in the sense that, when we talk about a lot of this work of self-love and coming into wholeness, it's really not possible unless we're bringing our sex center into that picture. We're bringing our womb into that picture. We're bringing our cyclical nature into that picture. Our sacral center is our access to creativity, of giving and birthing life. And if we're not doing it in a physical child form in this lifetime, it's how we birth our creations, it's how we birth our ideas and new structures for community. And it's actually the way that we can bring almost our heart's desires into physical manifest, because we're kind of, whether you see that as it being birthed from the womb, and then our heart's discerning, and then it's coming up and out as visionary, or it's coming down and in and birthing out through the womb into community. But I guess within in personal relationships as well, being so connected to that area gives us discernment in relationships. It allows us to be more open and honest and more intimate, and to really have a sense of freedom in our bodies, either on our own or relationship. There's so much contraction and feeling shame or hurt, or holding a little piece of ourselves as safekeeping over here, because we don't really meet it within ourselves in a way that's really nourishing. So we're going to get to play around a bit in that realm, which is exciting.
I feel so many people out there, and it's definitely something I struggled with for a long time, like that disconnection from the sex center and from the yoni. And it's like, especially I find in relationship, even when we think about sexuality, we tend to think about sex with someone else rather than like actually connection and intimacy with self, and actually just like all parts of self, not just like diving straight into the sex center, like actually connecting to all these different parts. And I loved how you began with like, we actually have to open the heart first. And it's so true, because if that's shut, it's so hard. Like I can feel it in my body and my heart is closed. There's no way the yoni is going to open up. Like I need to actually just really get connected and take it slow. But there's so many stories around like, you got to get straight into it, and you got to like do it fast, and there's somewhere to get to, rather than actually being a sacred space to explore and feel and get intimate and move through whatever's coming up. I feel like this whole process and sexuality can be actually really, really healing, and just completely expand your awareness in so many ways. And I think similar to you, it's very indescribable of like what I've received from doing this work. It's something you've definitely got to experience for yourself. But yeah, I think it's just such important work. I feel like a really deep connection around like physically receiving, especially in relationship and being in like sexuality with a partner, that receiving, it really can be mirrored in other areas of our life. Like how challenging is it for us to receive? So whether that's receiving like having a helping hand around the house, or whether that's receiving money or abundance or the different things that you want in your life, it really shows up in the body, is what I've noticed, like that mirroring. So as I've started to really practice the art of like receiving and allowing and softening, it's shifted all areas of life, not just sexuality.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it starts to rewire all of your programming and how you see and feel about yourself, and yeah, how you interact
Mm.
in the world.
Yeah, and like you're saying, for a lot of people, there's so much shame buried in like the womb and the sex center and in sexuality, and it really hinders our ability to not only enjoy sex or connection to self, but also enjoy life. Like I find when my pleasure with the body has been like really low or really disconnected, I've really struggled experiencing pleasure and joy just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Mm, it's just all connected.
yeah, yeah. There's a grayness to life,
Mm,
I feel, when there's a disconnection in the
yeah.
womb, and then yeah, or a disconnection to sexuality, and then it's kind of like yeah, being able to turn on to life, I guess,
Mm,
is sort of what happens in that process. You know, it's not just sexual turn on, it's not just sensual turn on, it's actually being able to turn the dial up on life and its
mm,
vibrancy and its color and its emotionality and its connectivity and its pleasure. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, and I know we touched on the podcast, so if anyone hasn't listened to the podcast yet, I definitely highly recommend it. But it's like it's like that aliveness.
Mm,
When you were talking about the greenness, it's like that. There's that aliveness that's missing, whether it's like experiencing the deep pain or the deep pleasure. If we don't really allow both, there's that aliveness missing.
mm-hmm.
Um, so for me, it's always been like really learning how to embrace all of it and lean into all of it at our own pace, not necessarily diving into the deep end of all things, but like just really taking it at your pace is really, really important, and slowness. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm super
Yeah.
excited for this workshop. We're going to be holding it in December. So if anyone is interested in delving deeper with us into sacred sexuality and reconnecting to your body, reach out and I'll send you all the details. But thank you so, so much for joining us today.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're so welcome. And I'll be jumping in live a little bit later, probably around maybe 11:30 or midday. We'll see how I go. And I'll be talking a bit more about the Embody membership as well and expanding our capacity to receive. So I'm excited for that. All right. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much, Amberlee. I'll see you soon.
Ciao. Have a beautiful day.